And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 20 of the Buzz About East Brunswick. How about that? You
We're
got
out
that?
of the teens.
You like that? Episode 20. We are podcasting live from the East Brunswick Public Library right here in the heart of East Brunswick. And if you're watching us right now on YouTube, well, hello to you guys on EBTV26. If you're out there on Instagram at BuzzAboutEB, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, and Amazon, everywhere that you can find us, we are now podcasting to you live. It's Mayor Cohen, myself, Greg T, and we are up and rolling. Nice job, man.
Nice job.
We did it. 20 episodes.
I know. Looking out here every single time we do this.
Yes.
No leaves now. It's just so disappointing.
But it's still so pretty. At least, listen, think about it. We were going to stick ourselves in a studio with no windows, no outlook whatsoever.
No.
This is so much better.
So much better. But
Yeah, it is.
But it says fall, but it fell. So
Yeah,
it's not
right.
even fall. Fall is present tense. It fell already. It's past tense.
So 20 episodes. I remember episode 1, I was so nervous to sit down next to you and to do this. Like, I had butterflies the whole night before. I couldn't sleep. And then coming in here, I was like, and you would think I would not be nervous, but I was so nervous. And that was just episode 1. What are some of your highlights that you remember in 20 episodes here?
Well, I think the most fun ones were the ones that actually weren't in the studio.
Right.
Like the ones that we went out and in an area and really interacted with different people
Agreed.
in the community. So those are good. I like some of the ones where we bring people in and talk about people that live here in the township and highlight just individuals that are just doing something fun and interesting and different.
Yep, funny you mentioned that. I jotted down a couple of names. We had, our very first guest was Halloween Frank.
Right. Did you drive by his house?
I have not. I've heard I got to go
you
by.
have to
I
be
know.
kidding.
I've heard amazing things. I've got to go. I promise you I'm going. I will be a part of it. I've got to go see everything. Matter of fact, Anthony and Brian, who film us on every week here, they were telling me that he's up and rolling and it's amazing already. And everybody's going out to see his house. So I've got to get out there and see Halloween Frank's house. Have you been there yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Already. You're already out there. We had AC Pin. He was the Lego guy. Remember him?
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. Then, of course, some of the guys from here in the office, Rob Zuckerman, we had Keith Kipp, John Roush. We've had all of those guys here.
Yeah.
We did 2 live podcasts. One was at Crystal Springs, and then the one
Over
we
at the museum.
at the museum, exactly. We were there. So I mean, we've done a lot in 20 episodes.
Yeah, no, and I think that the next time we're out in the public doing this is going to be at the Holiday Lights.
Yep,
right?
that's right. What is it? It's called Winter Wonderland.
Winter Wonderland, and it really is beautiful. And I would imagine we'll probably get a lot more people stopping by because it really is.
Yeah, we'll be out there in the heart with everybody out there.
Yeah.
All the fans. It'll be great. They can all come over and say hi. And yeah, I'm sure we'll all be very close knit with all the different tents and everything that's going on. We'll be in the heart of it.
You have your parka, and you'll have.
I was thinking about it.
Colder, and
if it gets cold like that, we're gonna be freezing our butts off. We may have to put that aside and be or get some space heaters underneath our table. It'll be cold.
Yeah, no, we'll do it. It's beautiful though, and I want people to show up and show the love.
Yeah,
it's a good time. It's the season. It's a great time of year.
Yeah,
there's vendors out there, food out there, all different things that Parks and Rec does for the holiday itself, and then of course it's highlighted with the tree lighting and the menorah lighting.
Oh, that's great.
Santa and the whole.
Yeah, I figure we might have a visit from the man from the North Pole.
Might just descend on us.
So let me ask you, 20 episodes, you had an agenda in mind that you wanted the audience to get out of you going out there and putting yourself on the front lines and podcasting. Has this succeeded? Are you getting out of this podcast what you really wanted to set forth at?
Well, I think that the yes is the short answer, and the longer answer is that I think it gives folks in town who don't really know me or you, for that matter,
sure,
a chance to humanize us, right? That it's more than just policies and major decisions and traffic and road work and redevelopment and all these things that are going on in town that people talk about.
Right.
Tends to be the fodder of every conversation on social media.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we're all, simple folk. We have the same needs and desires.
Sure.
And it humanizes myself and those of us who are in public office who are really acting on behalf of residents. We're one of you. We're the same.
Right.
And it's important that we hear from people regularly.
Yeah.
And don't take yourself so seriously all the time.
Sure.
Like, lighten up.
No, you're right. And listen, we've gathered some emails that have come through at baeb@buzzabouteb.com. We would love to have received more emails, but we did receive some emails. So I think that so people definitely paid attention to the podcast. They wanted to hear what you were saying and what we were
I think
talking
also
about.
the attention span, like most people won't listen to the whole thing, so they'll listen
Right.
to little parts, and so you get snippets. But even
That is
better,
true.
which is fine. That's okay.
No, that is true, because a lot of the stuff that we put out there on social media, it just gets dominated with views, and you can definitely see the difference between people listening to the podcast in its full length or just the clips. So the clips go out and they do a great job, and we see the numbers, which is fantastic. But I just wanted to make sure that you're getting out of this podcast what you really thought you were going to get out of it. Being the mayor, trying another avenue of getting the word out to the public about what's going on here in East Brunswick.
I think it is doing that. I think that now we're in our 20s, right?
Yeah.
We got to be a little bit more mature. We got to start to focus this on different areas and try to make sure that we recognize people that we might not be reaching and figure out how to get to them too.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm glad that you feel that way. It was really tough. I have to tell you, I was nervous, podcasting with the mayor of East Brunswick. I had to be on my best behavior. I needed to sound different. Well, because I guess on my radio show, sometimes I'm a little bit more wild and crazy and out of control. But
I think it's shown two sides of either of us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it shows that you might have a serious side.
You're right.
And I have a non-serious side.
You do.
So we both actually got something out of it and show people a side of us they don't normally see.
I agreed. Listen, I didn't realize how big of a New Jersey Devils fan you were. So you must be riding on cloud 9 right now.
Yes, but don't give me a kinahura, right? That's a Yiddish word. It says if you say it too often, then the bad things are going to happen. It's like Murphy's Law.
Right.
Don't talk about it.
Okay.
Too much. It's like we have season tickets,
Yes.
and my cousin sits right next to me, and all the people around me are all diehard hockey
Devils fan.
people.
Yeah.
And so we know the game. We were like real into the whole thing, and it's right in front of the platform where the dude that does all the
he gets the fans crazy, gets them going. Right.
But-
DEVL. Yeah.
It's clear that he does not know hockey. So I must have been one of the first 2 or 3 games, and there was a goal that the Devils got, and he's like, "We're on our way to the Stanley Cup," and all of us stood up and said, "Shut the hell up! They never say that."
You're right. You don't want to jinx it. No, you don't want to jinx it. I'll tell you though, the Devils in the '90s, man, there was nobody better. That team, oh man, they knew what it took to win games. They were incredible.
But they were the quintessential defensive team. If they were up 1-0,
right,
game's over.
Yeah, right.
Nothing's going past Brodeur.
Right.
And he's got people in front of him who aren't even going to let them get close to him. So they just shut people down.
Yeah, no, they knew how to do it.
They were known for.
Yep.
They changed the rules after that, giving the goalie less area and easier to take shots. And they wanted higher scoring games. That's why they changed the rules. And you're starting to see a faster paced game, more goals, and it has generated excitement. But the Devils of the 90s and the early 2000s were just defense.
Listen,
shut people down.
Yeah, those teams were amazing, headed by Bruce Shriver. They're just really just amazing, outstanding teams. And but now they are on this. I gotta say it. They're on an 8-game winning streak. Now they play tonight. Are they in Colorado tonight?
No, they played Colorado. No, they might.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Colorado, they played here. I think they're out on a West Coast tour right now.
Okay. So I wasn't sure. I just wanted. But I know they're playing. So tonight they're going for their 9th win in a row. Absolutely just awesome. All right. I'm sorry.
Don't say it.
Now we have the ice rink that's getting prepared here in East Brunswick. Yeah. A huge milestone for you and what you've accomplished here as the mayor, bringing that to East Brunswick. What do you think of the ice rink?
Well, I mean, have you been there?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So they're moving very quickly, and now it's even more fun to go every day because it's on finishing touches. The foundation you could only get so excited over.
Right.
Walls go up and you really don't often see where it's going, and it's a slow process. But now everything they do, when you go back each day, it's a significant change.
That's
so
great.
it is exciting to watch. But they're still on course to have a soft opening in December and to be really operational by the beginning of the year. So they're moving. And I think it's a great opportunity to bring something else to the township. Everybody keeps saying, what can I do with my kids?
Yeah.
I can't do anything with my kids here. There's nothing else. First of all, that's actually not true.
Sure, of course.
There's lots of things you could do.
Absolutely, there is.
If somebody really can't find something to do with their kids, they're not looking too hard.
No, there is. I've learned a lot. I actually, I don't mean to cut you off, but on that note, I think I myself took East Brunswick for granted for many years. And through this job, I'm able to see different things that East Brunswick does have to offer, and they do. I think that, that there is a lot for parents to do with their children here in East Brunswick.
But this is now just another thing. Like, I remember when my son was in high school, that he played hockey, and there were friends of his that were playing, and there was nothing in town. You always had to go out of town.
Right.
And there were periodically over the decades groups of parents whose kids were playing ice hockey that wanted to either form a team here or do something, and it just never went anywhere because it wasn't sustained.
Correct.
And then those kids would break up, and then you would play hockey, but they would send their kids to a bunch of different places. Every once in a while, you would get a bunch of East Brunswick people that were either in South Brunswick or over in Old Bridge.
Yeah.
And we would all look at each other thinking, why don't we have this in our town?
Right.
But it didn't go anywhere because you didn't have a place to play.
Right. Yep.
And now I think that people recognize that we can do this here. It could be a source of pride. We could be building a brand around that.
Yeah.
And not only provide another public service to the township, whether that's ice hockey or just free skating or figure skating. There's a ton of things you could do. The building has other areas that you could do parties and it just becomes another place for people to congregate and have a place to bring their kids in town. You don't have to leave East Brunswick.
I was one of those kids growing up in East Brunswick. I loved hockey. I loved ice skating, and I too had to go to Old Bridge. And I had a birthday party at the Old Bridge ice skating rink when I was younger. I did that, and many Friday nights, my mother would just drop me off, and that was all East Brunswick kids hanging out at Old Bridge and going ice skating. You're right. We had nothing here. I don't want to put it. I don't say we had nothing, but we did not have the ice skating rink that now you're providing.
And as we start to be able to bring in revenue from tournaments and from other people,
that's going to be fun.
That will also provide jobs for some of our kids. It will provide business opportunities and economic growth for businesses, whether they are restaurants or hotels. All of that gets stimulated. So it's hard to put a dollar figure on all of that, but it becomes an economic driver for the community. So it really brings everything together, from a place for our own kids, place for entertainment, jobs, all of that. It really, I think, serves a whole bunch of purposes, and that's our job, in town, is to try to provide more opportunities. The last time we did anything of this grandeur was when we opened up Crystal Springs. That's a couple of decades ago.
You're right. You're right.
People were skeptical then too.
And look at it, and everybody loves it, and people go there like the place is sold out, so it's great. No, but you have some tie-ins though. Tell everybody about what you guys did with the New Jersey Devils and some of the street names around it, or how you did that.
Well, so that whole area is part of the Legacy project. That's the buildings that you see built on Tice's, and the developer owned all of that land. So in order for him to get the type of tax incentives to help him build what we wanted, and to do all of the other road improvements and things that really would have been town obligations, we asked him to deed back a third of that whole property to the township, and that's the area that we're building the rink.
Okay.
And but the developers worked with us on all that. They gave us the land, did all the site work, did all of the stormwater, the parking lot, the sewer, the water. All of that is on their dime.
That's great.
So these are how these projects are done. If somebody wants to get some benefit or favor from the township, we want something back that's of equal value that provides benefit to our residents.
I understand. It's fair. Yep.
And I'm cheap. I don't want to pay for it. So they can pay for it.
But now, what about the Devils? How did you tie in some of that?
So the Devils was there is no other professional sports team in New Jersey,
Right.
The big sports, that has and bears the New Jersey name other than the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
So if we were going to be putting up a rink,
Yeah.
even if I was a Rangers fan, which I'm not, but even if I was,
You were great today. It's good. Yeah.
I would have named the streets after the Devils and
Right.
hopefully be able to draw some support from that organization, which is well known to do that, to help support youth sports and youth
Right.
hockey and to give back to communities. They're actually well known for doing that.
Right, the Devils do that. They do a great job of reaching out to the communities, the neighborhoods in Jersey.
So all of the streets in the Legacy Project are named for the 5 Devils players whose numbers have been retired.
That's Danico.
Danico,
Driver.
Brodeur, Niedermeyer. No, Driver was not on a.
Really? Wait, they have not. He's not.
His number's not retired.
The captain?
Sorry.
Wow! I thought for sure. I thought for sure his number would be retired by now.
Yeah, no, Brodeur,
Okay.
Eliash, Niedermeyer, Stevens, and
Danico. Wow, that's still good. That's a great class to be a part of. But what are we going to do? We got to get Bruce Driver up there. I mean, come on,
Well,
we
I
got to
gotta
get him
write
in
a letter
there.
to the Devils management.
There's no reason why that number shouldn't be retired. Bruce Driver. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the one I'm actually surprised at is Sergei Brilin,
Yes.
because he was on all 3 Stanley Cup teams and his number's not retired. So that surprises me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. We got to find out. All right. Well, listen, guys. I'm sorry. Also, I want. Oh, you know what? When we get back. So when we get back, I want to touch upon Harvest Fest that just happened, and you were a part of it. So when we get back, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a look in and around East Brunswick, and when we get back, we've got so much more to accomplish here today. Plus, it's going to be Halloween on Friday, so let's talk about Halloween and things like that. We've got a lot to do here at the Buzz About East Brunswick. This is a look inside and around East Brunswick.
Boo.
Hey East Brunswick, this is just a reminder that all bulk item pickups must be scheduled in advance, either online at eastbrunswick.org or by calling Solid Waste and Recycling at 732-390-6984. Here are friendly guidelines to remember. Residents may place a maximum of 3 bulk items per week. Mattresses and box springs must be completely wrapped in plastic. Refrigerator doors must be removed. Wood bundles must be no longer than 4 feet and weigh under 50 pounds. And electronics are not collected curbside. They must be dropped off at the East Brunswick Recycling Center. Let's all work together to keep East Brunswick clean and safe. Bud, it's your turn. What would you ask the mayor?
With all the apartments that are going up along 18, what is that going to do to the tax base? Eventually, you're going to have to build schools because there's going to be kids involved, and the taxes are already way too high. What is your plan for that?
So that's a really great question. And the first thing to ask is what's going to happen to the tax base if we did nothing? If we did nothing, the properties sit in a very blighted condition. It continues to drive down the value of all the homes in the area. Buildings themselves are subject to tax appeals, all of which they would win because they're being taxed at values that are greater than what it is right now. So the starting point is if we do nothing, the tax base goes down coming in from all of these properties, which ultimately puts the onus on residents to make up the difference. So clearly we can't let it stay like that. The apartments and the retail, all of which will be coming into that area, will increase the value of all of those properties and increase the monies that the township will be able to receive in rateables, and therefore help us try to keep taxes stable, which they've already started to do with the few that we've already few areas of redevelopment we've already been able to accomplish. As far as the schools, our school numbers have stayed relatively stable and well under our capacity for the last 12 years. You can look that up on the Department of Education website. And with the apartments coming in, our anticipation is that even with an increase in number of kids that would be coming in from some of these residential units, it should place no burden on the issue of capacity at the schools.
Hey East Brunswick, this is a friendly reminder from the East Brunswick Public Works Recycling Division about curbside recycling. No plastic bags, please. Please empty recyclables directly into the bin. Please recycle all of your cans, glass, plastics, paper, cardboard, and newspaper. Do not recycle greasy food containers, shredded paper, batteries, cords, pots, pans, or small appliances curbside. Those belong in the garbage or proper drop-off. Let's keep East Brunswick clean and green. For more info, please call 732-390-6984 or visit eastbrunswick.org. And away we go. We are back. It is the Buzz About East Brunswick, the podcast that you guys love. Mayor Cohen, myself, Greg T. And so we are podcasting inside the East Brunswick Public Library. And we have one of the big rooms, I guess like a study room, they have it. And towards the end, but we have glass windows.
That's right.
So it does get...
When the wind comes up, you could actually... You feel it in here.
Right. As pretty as it is to look out, it does get a little bit cold, a little chilly in here. And everybody keeps like ducking in to make sure that we're okay. I'll tell you what happened.
I was kind of wondering if they left like a window pane out because it's a little...
It got a little chilly.
Little chilly in here.
So, at your house, do you have the heat on already?
No.
Oh, so you don't? Not even at 72, 73 degrees, room temperature, nothing.
We're trying to hold out to see how long it takes to put it on, because I kind of like it a little chilly in the house with put the covers on and watch TV. It's very cozy.
I agree.
But I think we're getting closer to needing to turn that on.
Well, we are in big trouble. So my house. So we just put brand new furnaces in maybe like 3 years ago, and I went to turn the heater on, and all of a sudden we got these alarms that went off, and it said like blower not working. And I'm like, how could that possibly be? It's brand new. Sure enough, went downstairs, felt around, and nothing was on. So I called one of the furnace companies to come by and check it out, and they're supposed to be delivering this like piece of a motor that went kaplooey on my brand new furnace.
Oh, it actually broke down?
It really did.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me you opened it up. It was never even there to begin with.
No, everything was fine. But what I'm saying is we've gotten lucky with the temperatures here in Jersey that they're not completely freezing.
Right.
But this morning I woke up and it was cold this morning. So for the first time, we felt a little bit of that frost inside the house. It was cold. I already made the phone call. I'm like, is that piece coming in? So sure enough, the piece is supposed to arrive this afternoon. And then hopefully they'll be able to come either late tonight or tomorrow morning and hook that up. Because I can tell by tomorrow in the weather forecast that's coming for the rest of the week, we're going to have a lack of sun around here. So it's going to be chilly in the house.
All right, so then you're going to need it.
Yeah, we are going to need it. I think you guys are going to be turning it on soon, too.
Yeah, no, we will. I mean, if we have guests over, we'll put it up because that's rude.
Right. You don't want everybody to be freezing.
No.
Hey, so this weekend was something that East Brunswick takes part in. It was East Brunswick's Harvest Fest, and you were a part of it. How did that go?
So, no, it was very nice. The Harvest Fest is something that the East Brunswick Arts Coalition put together.
Right.
And it's really designed to highlight the historic section of the township, which is where we did that podcast from at the museum.
Right.
And so they'll have food trucks and different vendors and music, and there's almost always a wine garden that they'll have there so that people that want to try some interesting wines can...
Yeah, that's what I heard. Some adult beverages over there.
Beer garden. Yeah, all of that was really very nice. And the weather was perfect.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. I agree. It was a really nice weekend.
And so it just brings people out to a part of the community that I keep telling you, I think people drive by it and don't know that it's there.
Yeah, I agree. We keep on talking about that. Like how many people even go past the historic area of East Brunswick? Again, myself, I was lucky enough to know the area because I grew up right around that corner there. But if you grew up on the other side of East Brunswick,
you wouldn't know it's there. And you'll drive by it and you'll just look at homes and it's on the National Registry of Historic Regions, sites. And it harkens back to a lot of the architecture that was around the Civil War. And there's a cemetery next to it with some people that are buried there that are from that Civil War period of time. We were founded in
we learned a lot.
Right?
At least, listen, I learned a lot for sure. I didn't realize some of the things that happened here in East Brunswick and the historic part that East Brunswick played in the book of history. But yeah, it was pretty amazing that there's.
So it's a fun thing, and it's a perfect time of year for it, and the turnout. it's almost always weather dependent. If you have a decent day,
Right, and you're gonna have a
you'll
great
get
time.
a better turnout. There was one year I can remember where the weather wasn't that great. It wasn't as good of a turnout, but it was very nice.
Now, you had a council meeting this past week. How'd that go? Let's get the mayor's council report.
Township council meeting?
Yeah, the township
Well,
council
that was just
meeting.
yesterday.
How'd that go?
Oh, it went fine. We honored women that own and operate small businesses here in East Brunswick. So there was
That's great.
And then Alpha Kappa Alpha, which is a women's sorority that recognizes women in the teaching profession.
Oh.
And they give back a lot to the community. So it was definitely a Women's Day yesterday
great.
at the council meeting. And they were both honored. And so I think that it was a good turnout, really, of people from each of those organizations that were there. So that was nice. And for the most part, though, it was a very quick, simple, non-confrontational, which I like.
Right, they can get a little, no, I know the stories, and they can get a little tense at times.
Yes.
But do you think that more people that live here in East Brunswick should go to the council meetings and be a part of it? Is that something that you think?
I think that people should try to make an effort to be aware of what's going on and not rely on social media as a news source.
Right.
But it's really just an electronic gossip column, and that's what it's become. And people have always relied on gossip for their news. Now we just have a mechanism of spreading it faster to more people, but it doesn't make it news. And so if you want to know what's going on, either listen to a township council meeting, talk to people that are involved in making these decisions and don't rely on other people's opinions for those decisions. There's enough of them here, whether it's council members or people that work here in the township or people that are on school board. Want to know what's going on with the schools, talk to the source.
Right.
And you have that. This year, it is a school board election for the most part in East Brunswick. There's really no local elections other than the school board.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Because you're right. The early voting starts. It'll be at the community center here in East Brunswick. We have Election Day coming up, which we're not going to be podcasting for on Election Day. But we do have all of that coming up. So, let's dive into that. What is going on with the election and the school board?
Well, look, statutorily, the township and the schools are separate bodies.
Right.
So whether you get your tax bill and you see, or that whether it's the county or the schools that went up, that I have to send the bill out as a representative of the township.
Okay.
I just get their budgets,
Correct.
send their bills out, collect the money, and hand it to them. That's my role.
Right. You have nothing to do with setting.
Statutorily, I can't control the school board. I can't control their decisions. That's what you elect the school board to do.
Gotcha.
And if you really want me to be completely honest, there has not been a great relationship between the township and the school board for quite some time.
Okay.
And I think that's all personality and people driven.
Okay.
And now is a great opportunity for us to try to improve that.
So in other words, you did not choose to have a tumultuous relationship like that.
I think it's all, again, people driven. There's individuals that like to run their own little fiefdom and they don't like to share, that are on the administrative side, and the school board should be that body that should tell them, no, we are a town. We should be working together. We should be trying to act and do things that are self-interest of the people that elected us.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that the two groups aren't getting along. They want to know that you're working for
in tandem. Yep.
It's ridiculous in many instances, but I think everybody likes to feel like they're running their little fiefdom and they don't want to share. So I'll give Indian Cultural Society a couple weeks ago rented out for a dance a elementary school in Monroe and paid $4,000 for that space because to do it in East Brunswick would have been more expensive.
Wow! That's crazy.
So there's, use of fields. The baseball team wants to put up batting cages on their property out by Dunham's Corner Road. Yet we have brand new batting cages up at the high school, and they've been told to not share that with anybody other than the baseball team in high school. So that is not the way you put together and work for the people that, by the way, built that.
Right, I
Wasn't-
agree.
the school doesn't print money.
Right.
It's paid for by residents that live here. So yes, schools should have the first use of all of their
Sure,
properties. But
sure.
when they're not using it, we should all be working together to share. I shouldn't be asked to build indoor basketball courts because nobody could find an indoor basketball court when you have 11 schools each that have a basketball court.
Very good point. Very good point.
It's redundant
Yep.
and it's wasteful.
Yep.
And I've asked for data from the schools. We've got interactions with a lot of our departments that haven't really worked so well. They wanted to build a brand new high school, but had all plans for it, but never talked with the engineers from the township here, which have saved them tons of money.
Right.
Right. So we should be working together.
Yes.
People driven. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're innately separate bodies. It's people that make them work together. You have to want to do that.
Right.
You have a new superintendent coming in.
Okay.
You have a new CFO for the schools coming in.
So what is the outlook?
This is a great time to set the reset
A new
button
standard.
and to start talking in a dialogue that gets us to work together
Right.
and do the right things for the public. So I'm not going to tell people who to vote for.
Sure.
But I think that it's a critical time. A superintendent, if they're doing well, they're often in a town for a good decade.
Right.
They don't change that often. So if we're going to have a good superintendent, I'm hoping that the school board made a good selection.
Right.
I have full faith that they did. I want to give her every opportunity to be successful, but she could be here for 10 years easily.
Right.
Well, that doesn't change too often. This is the time to start to work to improve that. And that means we need to have 9 people that are on that Board of Ed who are committed to making sure that they hold the administration to that. Because I can't.
No, listen. To me, it sounds like you're looking forward to wanting to work
They've
with
got
them.
a school board
You
that
wanna
has
change.
gone out for years now telling everybody that the reason they're increasing costs and their taxes are going to go up is because of this astronomical number of special needs students. For 3 years, I've been asking for a P&L of special needs. I've asked school board members, they don't ask it of administration. I've sent letters to them that they haven't asked. I went to the administration myself and asked for it.
yeah, I was just gonna say.
And on behalf of the residents, 3 years and I still have not gotten that. Yet they'll go out every single time and tell you that, we're going to have to raise it. Cost of special needs, 19%. Give me the data.
Wow. I didn't know that there was this rift that was going on for such a long time, but it sounds to me.
I could go on. It's pointless.
Right.
This is the time to reset it.
Yeah, that's what I think. I can feel it. I can hear the hunger,
No, I
the
don't.
desire to want to make amends.
Well, you would think that this would be a great opportunity when you have a mayor that sat
Right.
on the Board of Ed for 6.5 years. You have a council president that taught in the school system for over 30 years, and a council vice president that is the head of the union and still works there. And the remainder of the board members, 2 of the remainders are people that grew up here in East Brunswick. So everybody that's on this side of the highway is committed to the
Sure.
school system.
Correct.
If this isn't a group of people on the town side that can't make it work with the people on the school side, then it's not us.
Right? No, it's a very valid point. I don't even know what to say. That is a very valid
There's
point.
nothing to say.
There's nothing.
There's simply fix it.
On that note, guys, this is excellent. Excellent. You never know what you're going to get. Hence why we have a podcast here.
I just say the truth. Right?
This is
I put my
fantastic.
head on a pillow at night and I sleep. I'm not going to be one that's lying to people because I'm not smart enough to keep track of all my lies.
Right.
So we're better off just telling people the truth. They're tough East
Yeah.
Brunswick people. They could handle it. Tell them the truth.
On that note, all right, we have to take another break. I'm sorry to stop right now and take another break while we do. Is there anything else you would like to talk about with the early voting and anything else? The local-
Get out and vote. I mean, again, we've spoken about the local elections,
Right.
but we do have a governor's race.
Oh, we do. Right.
And that is an important race. It sets the policy for where the state's going to be, and
Yeah.
a lot of major decisions hinge on who occupies that seat.
Sure it does.
So that's an important election, and of course, our local officials, our assembly candidates, Sterling and Rob Karabinchik. Now, again, I'm not going to tell people who to vote for,
Right.
but they've been dead on in getting money to East Brunswick to help us with roads and improvements to the library, improvements to the senior center.
Right, and their work is not done yet. So
it's
much
not
more.
done, but anytime we can get money from the state for things that we would ordinarily have to pay for ourselves,
right,
that means I didn't have to raise taxes.
No, you're right. On that note, guys.
On that note.
That is good stuff there. Good stuff, Mayor Cohen. All right, guys, let's take another look inside and around East Brunswick. And when we get back, we'll have some Halloween fun. It's all happening right here on the podcast, The Buzz About East Brunswick.
Hey, it's me, Greg T, Mr. EB, at a brand new park in East Brunswick. Country Lane has been improved. This is awesome.
We do like the uniqueness and the variety of the different things that the park has to offer versus some of the other East Brunswick parks. So the kids love it. We're excited to have the new variety.
You can picnic here, you can play basketball, and you can play some tennis.
My little guy said he wants to come to this park every day.
I wish I had this as a kid. Country Lane Park.
There's a lot going on in East Brunswick. It's another Ask the Mayor Anything. Deborah, take it away.
Will East Brunswick still be doing loose leaf pickup?
Good question. Loose leaf pickup. Are we still doing that?
So I want to thank you for the question regarding the loose leaves. I know it was a very controversial topic when we first brought in the new recycling program and the new garbage pickup program, because one of the ways we had thought of saving some money to pay for the new system would have been to get rid of loose leaf pickup. But people in town made their feelings known about that, and we listened. So last year, and every intention is going forward to continue with loose leaf pickup here in the township. You could obtain bags if you'd like at the recycling department, so you could bag some of the leaves yourself. But if you don't want to do that, as long as you keep it close to the curb and not on the road, the township will continue its program that it's been always doing, and that is picking up the loose leaves around town. Just got to go onto the Department of Public Works website, and they'll try to keep you up to date with the schedule of pickups. We try to keep pretty close to that schedule, and we do put out nixle alerts to let people know where and when those pickups are going to take place, but clearly that's a very weather-dependent thing, and it's subject to change.
The job today. Big things are happening here in East Brunswick at the Vermella. Township engineer Frank Edgesell with me. Going to walk me through what's going on today.
Here we have Black Rock Paving. They're out here, they're laying down the asphalt. The front parking area that's along Route 18.
Already the contractors are inside, laying up the walls, doing some painting even.
There is no more Lomans Plaza. All three buildings are demoed. We're in full site work mode here. We're working on putting sanitary structures in, storm structures, and all the infrastructure that's going to eventually support this whole development here.
This is a lot going on in East Brunswick. That's an understatement. All right, guys, and we are back. Episode 20. I like it. It feels good, saying episode 20.
We're grown up.
We are grown up. We are now 20 years old. There you go. It is the Buzz About East Brunswick.
I guess the next episode we become legal.
We're bringing alcohol and beverages, adult beverages for episode 21. Nice. We're all going to be drinking. We're all having a good time. Well, listen, this coming Friday, it is, of course, Halloween.
Halloween.
So any great fond memories of you being, trick-or-treating or growing up, some great Halloween costumes or whatnot?
Well, first of all, I grew up in North Jersey, so and it was a different time. Like, you were able to go out at night with your big pillowcases that your mother gave you.
Whatever happened to going out with the pillowcase?
Pillowcases.
Seriously, these kids don't know.
People just they made food and they would dump it in. Like today, you would never do that. Everything's got to be wrapped. And,
Yep.
Right? You don't
Yep.
ever let your kids go out alone.
Oh my God!
I did
parents,
that all the time.
Me too. Till the wee hours. We had no cell phones,
That's right.
and you were just out with your friends,
And then
going
you
door to
dumped
door.
your pillowcase and you went back out.
You went back out and got more. That's right. Yeah, those days, man. Now we're sounding old.
Yes.
But yeah, you know, my kids are never going to know what it's like to go out there with a pillowcase. Oh my God, the pillowcase.
And I think when I was younger, my mother, when I was really young, they would make costumes. They didn't really sell in mass costumes the way
there
they
was
do
no
now.
Spirit Halloween stores. No. They didn't have it.
So I think she made one time. I was like a French photographer. I had this old camera,
Yeah.
I had a wool sweater and flannel pants, and she painted a mustache on and had the big glasses and a beret.
That's great.
And I was like a photographer, I kind of dressed me up like Salvador Dali, who was not French, but that's what I looked like.
And a lot of times, as kids would walk around, the famous costume was like being a bum. I'm a bum. You know, and you'd have ripped jeans and ripped shirts and ragged clothes. I mean, today kids aren't going out looking like bums.
But now you can go and you buy all the costumes, so it's
it's a little different now, right? You buy it all at your Spirit Halloween
Although
store.
my wife did do kids' costumes. She made them Harlequin clowns once, and she actually knit the whole thing and
Really?
sewed it all herself.
Now that's
and
talent.
We still actually have those costumes at home. Maybe I'll use it for grandchildren someday if I have grandchildren.
Yeah.
That'll be a keeper.
Do you go to Halloween parties? You and your wife, your family?
Not as many.
Because that's trendy now to like go to neighbors' houses who are having some Halloween parties, and even people are decorating outside now. The lights on people's houses.
Well, that I see a lot going on
Right?
in town. But I think I've always seen different Halloween stuff on people's homes. Now they've got more elaborate stuff that they put out with those big.
The big tall skeleton, 20-foot skeleton, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has to have the 20-foot skeleton
Yeah.
now. My question is, where do you store that? Once that's over, where do you put a 20-foot skeleton in your garage?
I have to go over to Mr. Frank's house, and he
Right.
clearly knows how to store all
he
this
knows
stuff.
how to store it all. Wow. Anyway, it is Halloween, so I thought, here's some fun. I've got some dad Halloween jokes that I think that we're all going to get a kick out of. I think this will be really fun. Let's see what we get out of it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, Mayor Cohen, I would like to know, why don't mummies take time off? Well, they're afraid to unwind.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, my rim shots. Brian, my music is too loud. My rim shots don't go over. I have to shut my music off now. Hold on, I have to go back and shut my music off on that one. All right, here we go. Back to my rim shot. Now we're back. There we go. All right, I want to know, Mr. Mayor, what kind of monster loves to play tricks?
What type?
Well, that would be Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Oh. Young Frankenstein. Do you watch that?
I have seen Young Frankenstein. That I've seen. You know, prior to us coming back on, you were just asking me, have I ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show? And I am ashamed to say I have yet to ever see it in its entirety. I've never seen it from start to finish. I never saw it. A couple of pieces here and there, but I have not seen the whole entire thing.
That was like a phenomenon for us
It
when
was.
we were in
It was.
college and high school. We would go to the movies, and you had your props.
You got to
and
bring the props.
Exactly. And your umbrella, the rice, the toast. I remember all those things.
Oh my gosh, you know it all. Yeah, no, I didn't do it. I never did it. I've had friends that have gone. I've been invited to go with friends, and then for some reason something happened where I couldn't make it. Something else came about and I couldn't go. But I've yet to ever see it from start to finish. Maybe now with the evolution of the streaming, I'll find it on one of the streaming apps and I'll be able to sit back and watch it just once and see what it's all about from start to finish.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have the same level of
the same
emotion or vibe.
Yeah.
Because you had to go with groups.
Right.
And
that's what made it fun, right? Going with your friends and with all your props. And then you have to know exactly what to say and how to yell at the screen.
Yeah,
you have to know those things.
Right.
Yeah, I have done a bad job. I have failed you. I have failed you, Mr. Mayor. I have failed you.
No, you're the frat guy. Go back.
I can go back. All right, well, I want to know, what's a skeleton's least favorite room in the house? That would be the living room. All right, I'll just give you a couple more here. What's a ghost's favorite dessert? Ice cream.
Oh, forgot got it.
These are the dad jokes for Halloween.
Yeah, those are the ones where the daughter will just start eye rolling, right? After that.
Oh, please.
Eye rolling.
My kids do it right now. I walk around the house and I tell them the jokes. They go, Dad, stop. They're not funny. And I'm like, I saw you smirk. You know they're funny. You know they're funny. All right, I'll leave you with this one here.
Okay.
How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? Well, you would fix it with a pumpkin patch. Ooh. On that note,
The Monster Mash.
the Monster Mash. So I know that the library here is having a kids Halloween parade on Friday. So that's really cute. All the kids get dressed up
Yeah.
here. I think that's really
Did
great.
you do that in elementary school?
Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I looked forward to it. That was a highlight to be able to
Yes.
walk around and be a part of that parade.
I loved that. That was so much fun.
It really was. Yeah, those are the good old days, Mr.
And you
Mayor.
used to give Halloween cards to your friends.
Oh
like
my
always
God, you did do that. Halloween cards. Yeah, that was the greatest thing. You know what? They've done away with so many of these fun things.
Those are my memories. I love that.
Mr. Mayor, the time it has gone by. Anyway, guys, I think we've had a great episode here for sure, 100%. This was fantastic. So let's just, one more time, let's just go back and review again. So let's get out there and vote next week for your local
Absolutely.
school board and, of course, for your election here in New Jersey at the community center.
And you could vote now. Early voting's already started, so
It
you
has-
could do that.
Oh, also, Veterans Day is coming up on November 11th.
November 11th. We always do a veterans celebration. The schools do something on 11/11 at 11.
Right.
But we usually do something here in the township after hours so that people who are working can come. But it is an honor to be able to celebrate our veterans who put their lives on the line for this country. So they deserve a day.
I mean, Mr. Mayor, you are on point today. There is not much more to
on
say.
point.
On point you are. Not much more to say. For episode 20, this was a great episode. It really was. I hope that so many people get to see it and hear it, and
hope
they're going to
so.
get a lot out of it for sure. This was just fantastic.
Upwards and onwards to 21.
To 21, who'd ever thought?
Wow.
I'm so glad. I got over my fears of podcasting with you. Now I feel like a natural with you, and we're having a good time. We really are. And our next live podcast will be at the Winter Wonderland. There you go.
Right here at the municipal
Right.
complex.
All right, guys. So on that note, we are out of here. Mayor Cohen, myself, Greg T, for episode 20. We'll see you here next week for episode 21.
Have a good one.